In the last episode, we built a flushing mob farm inside our giant new city skyscraper, and I'm pleased to say we now have an extortionate amount of gunpowder. But what good is all that gunpowder if we don't have the paper to make rockets with it? So that's what we're going to be fixing today. We're going to be building ourselves a lovely greengrocers, which I think I'm going to put over here on this corner. I think next to this building would look quite nice. And we're going to stuff the thing full of sugarcane farms. And that's going to be a vast improvement on our current sugarcane farm, which is over here in this church. But the main problem is we don't really come over to this area too much anymore, and, well, we're basically out of sugarcane. Instead of wasting AFK time over here at this tiny farm, I think it makes sense to definitely make a giant new one. So let's head over to storage, grab a bunch of stuff and things, and see if we can plan out this build. And at some point later in this episode, I do want to finish the gardens outside the mob farm as well, but we'll get to that later. Still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do there. So this is the spot I've chosen for the greengrocers, but as you can see, we need to do a little bit more terraforming first. We don't even have any land out here at the moment, so I'm going to place loads of grass, and I'm probably going to extend this road down a little bit further as well. It would be nice to try and picture this whole block here. And then once we've done that, we can actually start planning out the build for today. I'm going to need a lot more grass than that. Let's go get some more. There we go, that should be enough space for us. I've just laid down a little bit of wool here so I can work out how big the farms are going to be. They are actually going to be the same farm we have over in the church. We're just going to be doubling up on each floor, and of course we're going to have a whole bunch of floors. So this is how wide the building needs to be, and I think that's going to leave enough space here for another corner building, which will be nice, and it's going to be kind of a tall, thin building, I guess, this one. I do have a problem, however, in that I need more terracotta, because I'm going to be building this primarily out of green concrete and green terracotta, but yeah, we've only got like 2 stacks of it, and I don't even have any plain terracotta that I can dye at the moment. But I think I do want to get the building up first, and then we're going to build the farms on the inside afterwards. So let's go get some terracotta. Time for a quick digging montage. Well, that's much better. We've got a couple of boxes of green terracotta now, and we can start on this build. And this is pretty much going to be the palette. We're going to be using lots of spruce and oak, and pretty much just these 3 green blocks. However, the first thing I need to do is actually work out the shape of this building. So let's get a few blocks down and see where we land. So I think we'll have the entrance around here somewhere, and we've got 18 blocks in total, which is an even number, which is a bit odd. We wouldn't normally do that, but I think it's going to work better for the doorway. Plus, it's also going to fit the farm inside a bit better, so I think it makes sense in this instance. I think that kind of shape could work well. I kind of don't really want to put another window here, because I think it might be quite nice to actually have some plants and stuff sort of stacked up out the front here. And I think if we had a window that went all the way along, it might just be a little bit much. So let's run with that for now and figure out how big we need it to go this way. That sort of size should work. It doesn't really want to be too big, because what we need to bear in mind is the way that we're doing our farms. They're only going to be 8 long, which means the farms themselves, if we start them here, they're only going to come to around here somewhere. So we're going to have plenty of space in the front on each floor to actually sort of walk around and have a look and all that jazz. But I think this is the size we're going to go with. So let's just get this built up a little bit. And I'm not going to bother putting a green wall down this side here as well, because I want to use a different color wall on the inside. And I think we're going to kind of need that space. So that should do fine. And it's going to save us a bunch of green terracotta doing this wall as well, I guess. So I've been playing around with the colors a little bit on the bottom of the first floor. And I've got a slight problem in that I think I actually want to be using green concrete as the main base, and then just using the occasional bit of green terracotta to highlight, because I think this is going to be too dark if the whole building was in that. And, well, I don't really have enough concrete for that. And I guess we all know what that means. Let's go blow up the desert again, make a bunch of green concrete powder, and then stand here for 20 minutes converting it all. I really need to upgrade this. Let's try this again, shall we? Hopefully no more false starts. Let's figure out this building. And I think what I actually want to do is maybe put in some kind of a ridge across the top here, and then pull the building out another block as it goes higher up. And then that should make the bottom look a little bit more unique. So let's figure out some windows. We'll have some thin windows on the side. And this is where things are going to be awkward, because we've got an even number here. So do we just do all the windows as 2? Is that going to work? Maybe a 4 in the middle. Let's build this up a little bit and see how it looks. Something like that, maybe? I think we can probably get away with that. But before I go too far, I think what I actually want to do is work out the window designs. And I've got an idea in mind. Where's me spruce? So let's try some stuff out here. I think what I want to do is potentially actually frame the windows with the spruce like this. Let's get a couple of trapdoors in, maybe. And as it's a greengrocers, I think we're going to want lots of flowers and leaves and things like that on it. So let's put some boxes in the front here. Do I have any oak? Here we go. So something like that for the window frame, maybe. Although that means we're going to be setting the glass back. So let's grab some spruce logs and maybe make sure the windows are all framed as well. Something like that, maybe. And where's my glass? Let's have a look at that, shall we? Okay, I think that's going to work quite well. If we mix up a few of the blocks, get some of the terracotta in, get some flowers in here, I think that could actually look quite nice. Let's do the whole row and see how we're looking. I do quite like it, but I'm not 100% sold. So what I might do is get a few flowers and maybe some bushes and potentially even do another floor and mix it up a little bit. I think every now and then I want to actually completely block out one of these. So let's give that a go, and then maybe we'll do a little bit down the front here and see if we can tie it all together. And once we've got something we can work with, we can just slam down the rest and get it all built up. Go away, you. Trying to talk. You know what? I think this just might work. But we do need to sort out this bottom area here. This is still looking very, very bland. So let's see if we can get some color in down here. Maybe a little bit of decoration. And I've got a few ideas what we can do at the front here, courtesy of B-dubs, but you'll see that in just a moment. Let's slap in a bit of detail down the bottom. And I think we're just about there with the front. That is looking awesome. So the B-dubs trick here is using flower pots on top of minecart hoppers that are on powered rails, and they just make nice little display cases. I use something similar inside the cap as well for the crisp display, but they just work so well with little plant pots. And with the extra veg down the bottom here as well, I think we're looking pretty good, and even a few potted plants because, well, why not? Plus it looks cool. So I think with the design on the outside all figured out, what I'm going to do is probably get in a couple of floors and just make sure we're definitely going to have enough space for the farms. I don't see why we wouldn't. They're only about 3 or 4 blocks tall, so it should be fine. And then we're going to build up the rest of the building. So I've got some floors in. We've just got a nice oak floor on the bottom here. This is going to be the main shop area and, of course, storage for the farm. And upstairs here, I've worked out that we can actually get 3 farms in a row. They're only going to be 6 deep, but I think that gives us plenty of space to walk around out the front here. And we can just repeat this on every floor as we go up. So I think before we actually get all the farms in, I'm going to build up the rest of this building. I don't know how tall we're going to make it. We'll probably add at least another 4 or 5 floors. And it's dark. I should go to bed. There we go. Much better. So yeah, I think we'll probably end up with it being maybe not quite as tall as this building here, but it still wants to be a reasonable height. So it's probably going to have about another 3 floors, I think. Let's crack on and get this done, and then we can start tackling the farms. Start the time lapse. I know, I cut the music right before the drop, but we're actually done with the outside at least. And this thing looks absolutely amazing. I love it. In fact, if we stand back a little bit here and have a look at it in the scope of the wider city, I think that really does work well. I did actually decide in the end only to put the flowers and the detail and things on the lower half of the build where it's actually closer to the greengrocers, because otherwise I think it would have been a bit too busy having that going all the way up. But I'm very pleased with how that comes out. I think it slots in nicely, and once we get another building on this corner as well, it's just going to be sandwiched in there. A nice tall thin building. Love it. But just because the exterior's done, that doesn't mean we haven't still got a buttload of work to do. Because not only do we still need to sort out the shop down here, of course, but we need to actually start getting these farms in. And for that that, we need to make ourselves a whole bunch of pistons, observers, and other redstone-based things. And hopefully we've got enough redstone for all of this. If not, we might be doing some villager trading too. So I guess I'm going to head back to main storage. I should probably clear up some of this shulker monster as well. We don't really need most of this stuff here anymore. And get everything we need to actually get these farms in. About 20 minutes later, and I think I've got everything I need in order to build these farms. And I just need to work out exactly how they're going to lay out in here. So I guess I'll figure out the first one and then go from there. First thing we'll do is mark out where the actual sugarcane itself is going to be growing, which is going to be on this spot here and here. And then we're going to put an observer just at one end, but we're going to make sure that we do that on the end of every single farm. So we'll have one there, and then we'll have another one there, for example, because we're going to have the next farm lining up here, which means we'll need another observer there, another one there, and the last farm should be there. So in theory, we should be able to fit 3 in. Whack down a load of pistons on the top here. And same on this side, of course. Then we're going to use sea lanterns for lighting, just so they've got all the light they could possibly need. And then we just need to wire up a nice basic bit of redstone around the back here. In fact, we need to raise this up a row. Let's just quickly destroy this and put it in here. Redstone on the top there. And in theory, when something changes in front of this, it should fire all of them. I don't think it fired that first one, did it? Not a problem. I think we can make a couple of minor adjustments here. So if we do that and then grab another observer, point that down, put one of those there, bit of redstone across the top, and that should now fire them all, hopefully. Yep, look at that. Beautiful. That's what we want. Then we'll make sure we do the same on this side, just like that. Row of terracotta, some wool on the back, and just a whole bunch of redstone. And the farm's almost built already. How good is that? So the next thing we need is just a row of bars. And what that's going to do is when these fire, it's going to stop the sugarcane being flung over to the other side, because we do, of course, want it to be caught in the middle here. Just going to chuck some water in underneath. And, of course, same on that side. We should just be able to plant loads of sugarcane along here, put some water in the middle here, and what this will do is actually collect all the sugarcane that gets shot, and then we can just stick a roof on the thing. And it's as simple as that. The last thing we need, of course, is the collection system, and for now, how are we going to handle that? I think what we'll do for now is just put a chest in the floor here, and then I guess we're going to need a hopper. That's the one thing I didn't bring. I forgot me hoppers. Dang it. Luckily, I've got a buttload of iron in my ender chest, so that's not a problem. There we go. That should do the trick, and we'll just feed everything down from every farm into this one location, because, well, if we're going to be having this on every floor, we then need to feed all of this down to the bottom floor into some shulker loaders. But for now, this will be fine. I just need to get the rest of these built up. So let's just get this first floor cracked out, shall we? And just like that, I think we're done. So our first 3 farms are in. They should start producing sugarcane, which, as I say, is all getting collected over here. Now we just need to do this on another, I don't even know how many floors. 3 or 4 maybe? I don't know. We want a buttload of sugarcane either way. Building montage. I think that'll just about do it. This is the 5th floor of farms, so we've actually got 3 farms on each floor across 5 floors. That is 15 sugarcane farms, and hopefully that should be more than enough. We can see lots of sugarcane pouring in, and if we check our storage, yeah, look at that, it's working a treat already. So what we need to do now is to get in our shulker loaders, and we're going to have to do something about this drippy ceiling as well. Not a fan of that. Can't have that in our grocery store, but we'll get to that later. For now, what I want to do is get the shulker loader in and basically just sort out the storage for the sugarcane, which we'll do at the back here, and then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of the shop. But yeah, you've seen me build shulker loaders, so I'm going to grab what I need, we'll get that set up, and then after that, we'll focus on the interior of the shop. And just like that, I think we're done. So the sugarcane is feeding into the shulker loader here. We've got lots and lots of shulker boxes in backup, and around the front here, I can load shulkers here, and I can, of course, collect all the drops from these 2. I just need to make the whole place look nice now, and I really need to sort out this leaky ceiling. It's very annoying. So I'm going to spend a bit of time trying to sort out the interior in here. We are going for a green grocer feel, so I expect there's going to be lots of vegetation and things like that. And we may even be able to make use of some other techniques as well, just to make this place look pretty cool. And I'm pleased to say I think we did pretty well on the cool factor. Look at this. I absolutely love it. It's come out really, really well. We basically just crammed it full of all the things that grow. We've got bean blocks. We've got all sorts in here. We've even got glazed terracotta. It just kind of blends in nicely, but also adds a nice pop of colour. The new hanging signs are awesome as well. We've got deals. We've got adverts for all the different things that we've got. I've even put down a couple of brewing stands just to break it up, and I think they work as well. And I really particularly like like this feature wall at the back here. No idea what it's supposed to be, but it looks quite nice. And it also meant I could blend in the shulker box collection point for all the sugarcane. We've got a till round here as well. We've got a couple of shelves, a bit of foliage in the ceiling, and I've also messed up the floor a little bit as well. But these new bamboo trapdoors, they are awesome. I think they look really cool, and they really help to bring a little bit of light into the room. And we've used the B-dubs trick again as well at the back here. So overall, I think that looks absolutely awesome. I'm very pleased with how that's come out. And if you've got any ideas of anything else we can put in here, or if there's anything I've missed, then do let me know. I'm sure we can cram some more stuff in here and there. And with that, that's another farm added to our industrial zone and another building to our city. And I think that might be my new favorite. I love how that's come out. Although I really do need to add another line to this canopy. That's been winding me up all day. I've, for some reason, just put one extra one on that side and not on this side. I'm going to fly all the way home and get the wall now because I really want that to be right. Oh, that feels so much better. That was totally worth the flight. The only thing this greengrocer hasn't actually got at the moment is a name. So if you've got any ideas for a name for this place, do let me know in the comments. You know the drill. We like puns. We have Superfly and Starblock so far. So what can we call a greengrocers? Are there even any greengrocer chains, or are they all just independent shops? I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments. And all episode, while we've been building that building, I've been thinking about this garden and, well, what we're actually going to do with it. I've got a couple of ideas. I know I want to put in, you know, just a few trees and bushes and things like that, a couple of benches maybe, and potentially even a sign out the front, which may require a little bit more map art. But for the main features, I'm wondering if maybe we could add some statues or something. I don't really know. I really do like the creeper statue we've got in there, and I do wonder if we can maybe get something similar going on outside. I don't know. I haven't really designed anything at the moment, and sadly, we're actually out of time for this episode because I haven't had an episode out in about 2 weeks because I've been making my Skies series. If you haven't checked that out, please do go check that out as well. We're having a lot of fun over there, and we're doing a very build-focused modded playthrough. But if not, then I hope you have enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you on the next one, where maybe we'll actually finally get round to finishing this garden over here. Bye-bye now.